to say something a little bit controversial, and I kind of believe this, and I'll say that this is one of those stances that I have that's not really strong, so you could sway me. I was all for the expansion of the playoffs. What I would have liked to have seen, though, was a 6-team, not a 12-team. And then, the number 1 and 2 get a bye. I understand there's still going to be controversy. Well, this team should have been number 2. That team got the bye. You're never going to be able to satisfy anybody. What is the benefit, in your opinion, of going to 12 instead of the 6?
Well, I think from the get-go it should have been 8. I've said over and over again that I prefer the BCS over the 4-team. I think the benefit is for a lot of programs it'll keep some kids in play. Mm-hmm. So 12 teams means more are included, but 12 teams also means and I'm going to pick on Penn State. They go 10-2 every year. They're a decent football squad, and they just miss out. Now you got a program like that you've seen be competitive. Ole Miss would have been a good example last year. They were playing good football. They were a 10-2 team, but there wasn't room at the table. Maybe 6 is enough. I like the nice 8 number. I think in college football, if you've got a team that's playing well and is good and has a lot of injuries, a bye week is beneficial. But for the most times, I think a lot of times that continuity is a big deal. I don't like those 4 teams having a bye. I'd just like to see the season roll and have them hop in. But I prefer the 12 over the 4 for sure. And again, as a fan of a team, if we'd had the 12-team playoff 2 years ago, Tennessee's in the playoff. Right. And you're not going to tell me that wasn't a team that wasn't capable of making a run. Again, the game is so fluid and injuries happen and things change so much that you've got teams that fall out. This isn't going to be popular for some, but Florida State had no business being in the playoff last year with their main player going out. Everyone can argue all day long they were undefeated and they earned it from that point. Well, the 12-team playoff, we don't have to have that debate. We're going to put them in. They'd have gotten blown out by Georgia. Life would have went on, but they wouldn't have gotten left out.
Right.
So,
at least it'll quiet a lot. The only problem is I feel like no matter if it's 2 teams, 4 teams, 12 teams, there's always going to be somebody on the outside looking in that's going to gripe and say, we should have been. No matter what, that's going to happen. I
feel a lot better about the 13th team griping, saying, 10, 11, and 12 probably don't deserve it either, so get over it. If you got 6 teams, again, there are years that there are 5, 6, 7 quality teams. There are years that there aren't. There might only be 1 or 2.
Right.
I'm not entirely convinced that the best team in the country last year got left out of the playoffs, but they lost a game in a season late that they couldn't afford to, and Georgia got to stay home. Kudos to Michigan. You take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you, and whether they were the best team or not, they won the games that matter, and they won a championship.
Well, and that's what the best teams do.
Yep.
Right? That's what the good ones do.
So sometimes you catch the breaks, and when you catch the breaks, you got to make the most of them.
Absolutely. And the nice thing is we don't have to listen to Central Florida gripe that they were a national champion.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to put all of that to bed, so that's good.